Backflips have been the bane of my life for a very, very, very long time. Ever since I can remember, probably about 10 years old, I've wanted to learn how to backflip. And I've tried and tried and tried and tried, and I have never got it. When I was about 10, I used to have a trampoline. I learned front flips, I learned side flips, I learned backdrops, I learned all kinds of things except a backflip. You might have seen a few videos ago, we went to a trampoline park, and one of my goals at the beginning of this year and last year was to learn a backflip, was to learn how to backflip. I spent 2 hours trying to learn how to backflip. And it's not even like there's something physically stopping me from doing it. It's purely mental. It's purely this mental thing of not committing, being too scared to try it, thinking I'm gonna die, and just like this, I can only describe it as a wall. And I've had this like mental block, this thing that's just stopped me from ever doing it or trying it. I'm convinced I'm gonna fucking die. And it tears me up inside. It frustrates me so much. It drives me fucking insane because sure, I can't do things physically, but when there's something that I know that I can do and I'm just stopping myself from doing it out of fear because I'm such a pussy, it rips me to fucking pieces inside. Today, I've decided enough is enough. As we're in quarantine, it's all well and good like me preaching to people about overcoming fear and doing things that scare you and blah, blah, blah. But when I preach that and I can't even do a backflip, it's like, Mo, what are you fucking doing, mate? You're taking the piss. Today is the day that we are gonna commit. We're gonna get it. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna full send it, backflip off a cliff. No practice, no pre-jump. I'm just gonna go for it, and I am going to fucking get it. Alex is gonna learn how to do a gainer off a 50 or 60 foot ledge. Aren't you, Alex?
Hey?
Looking high, mate. Backflips are the fucking bane of my life. It's something I've always wanted to learn to do properly, and I've always had this like mental block. So I'm just gonna fucking go for it off this like 12, what's that, like 15 foot?
Yeah, at least.
15 foot ledge. Hopefully not fucking fuck myself up. Backflips of what?
Anything before like this?
No.
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 Not even into like a little ledge into the sea?
No, I've never backflipped off anything like this before.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Alright, mate.
Don't fucking say that.
I don't know, like you have to get used to it. You'd be right. Just commit, don't think. But don't think, you have to jump backwards.
Leave it.
Long you leave it, mate, just to get it done.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, you'll be fine, just jump back. What?
I'm just worried about not jumping back far enough.
You will if you do it. Consciously make that effort and you will.
Should I just jump backwards first?
Nah, I honestly think like you should just go for it, bro.
Fuck my life, man. This guy just wants me to fucking die, so he's got a nice video for Wildstar.
I will take a video, okay? You mind?
Yeah.
Legs straight round, you'll be right. Just commit, mate, commit. It's a mental block, mate.
Hitting my head.
You won't.
At this point, I'm absolutely shitting myself. I'm so scared, and the only way I can describe it is it's like, Imagine your body thinks that if you do this, you are 100% gonna die. You hype yourself up to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm stood there, I get some hype going, and then I stand up, I lean back, I go to do it, and it's just like I've hit this wall. It's like it is impossible for me to jump. It's like my legs don't physically want to leave the ground, no matter how badly I want to do it. I just have this wall and I can't do it, and I cannot tell you how frustrating it is.
Mate, if it's that, we'll come back again and get it done, it's fine. We'll go off.
I won't fucking get it done. The only way I can describe it is, have you ever seen like a really, really attractive girl, you've gone up to speak to her, you've gone up to chat to her, and last minute you've just bottled it. You've swerved it, you've decided you can't do it, you've completely pussied out, and then afterwards you have like the worst feeling of failure and disappointment, and like you're so shit and you're just a terrible, pathetic human being. You have the worst feeling in the world.
Just jump back.
Oh mate, it's just fucking...
Well, it's not an easy feat, man. Like, I didn't get it straight away like this. I started off on little ledges.
Oh mate, it's just that fucking like, it's like a point. There's nothing physically stopping me from doing it. It's just purely this mental fabricated thing in my head, and it is like the hardest thing in the world. One of the hardest decisions in the world. My body's convinced that if I do this, I'm gonna die. It's like my body is like, you are basically killing yourself by doing this. You cannot do it, you are gonna die. It is not possible. And that's the mentality that's like ingrained in my head. The only time I've ever tried it, I've landed flat on my face, and I have like this massive fear or anxiety built up inside me. But I know that when I do it, it's not gonna be that hard. I know that when I do it, it's gonna be fine, but it's just getting through that wall and actually doing it. I keep putting it off, I set up, I stand there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I stand up, I go to do it, and I just can't do it. I just hit this wall and I cannot do it. Sure, I might be able to try and do it another time, but I'm just gonna come up with the same excuses and put it off and put it off and put it off and keep moving it forward into the future. So I step onto a bigger ledge and I'm like, okay, this is the one, I'm gonna fucking do it. It's do it or die. If I jump off and if I completely fuck it up and total it, at least I will leave without that regret. So I go up to the top again, sight myself up, practice the motion, imagine myself actually doing it, imagine myself flipping, imagine myself jumping back. I'm like, right, don't think, do.
Yes!
I did it, and it was fine, and it was easy, and I didn't die. And like, you just hype it up to be something so much worse than it is in your head, and then you actually do it, and it's completely fine, and it's completely okay. I go again and again and again and again before my brain has like a chance to think about it and reinstall that fear. I just keep going to condition the movement into my head and actually like get over that fear and realize that I can do it, get that confidence, and just keep going. Backflip. Finally, after over 10 years of trying to do it, I have managed to do a backflip, and that is not the end. This is only just the beginning. I want to get sick at diving. I want to get sick at flips. I want to be doing doubles. I want to be doing gainers. I want to really clean it up and make it this like beautiful Instagram Sam Calder style backflip off shit, because I've always wanted to do it, and I will learn how to do it by summer. Mark my words, I'm going to keep this going.
That counts the backflip, and now I just got to clean it up. I want it on land by the summer. I'm coming for you backflips.
You're fine. Just don't make a conscious effort not to use them, but just do what you think, like I do. Better. You little cunt. Mate, it's good for their fucking grip strength, mate. Woo! Jesus Christ!
Right, this, children, is why you don't jump straight into cold water. Get your head under, dude.
Fuck!
Such a... Alright, Alex, I guess we're quite used to it, aren't we? That's how you drown. If you jump into cold water, it's called cold water shock. All your nerves contract, you go, and you breathe in involuntary if you're not used to it. So that's why you splash your face. You just get in first, like slowly, and ease into it. And like me and Alex are pretty used to it. Tom hasn't been swimming, so that's why Tom got so fucked by that.
It's not too bad.
It's alright, mate. Breathe.
Yeah, I'm just getting straight fucking out again.
Oh, that's lovely.
Fuck. Look at my little poor little legs. Mate, when I kick my legs, nothing happens.
Yeah.
It's literally like getting chopsticks and going out in the water, mate. There's no resistance.
Just cut through the air. Oh my god, what's he gonna do?
Oh my god. Fucking weirdo.
We kept practicing those for a while, and Alex had been talking about jumping this cliff behind. It's about 50, 60 foot, and he had been speaking about doing it for the last month. He had been visualizing it, he'd been thinking about how he's gonna do it, he'd been like meditating on it, and he's like, dude, we'll come back tomorrow and I'm gonna gain a backflip off this cliff. I've never done a gainer before. This is the biggest thing I've ever jumped off, but I am gonna do it. I'm gonna gainer off this cliff.
Right, just to give you a little idea of scale, that is people there. I think if you just go straight out. Have a good one. See ya. sick, man.
Mate, I felt like a video game. Like I was in a dream, you know, I was going up to him, the guy was speaking to me. And I was like, is this the end of my life?
That was my first ever backflip, and I'm so stoked I did that. The thing that I hate the most is living with regret. I do not handle living with regret well, and I do not handle setting mental limitations or not doing things because I feel mentally limited well. Like, regret is the only thing that I really, really fear. I get scared of regretting things. So if I see something, if I'm scared of something, I have to do it. Take home from this video is do shit that scares you. Do stuff that scares you, because the worst thing that can happen probably isn't the worst thing that can happen. That doesn't mean go and gainer off a 100-foot cliff with absolutely no experience. Stay within your limitations and do what's safe. Do be careful and do roughly know what you're doing, just so you don't fuck yourself up. Like, I've got Alex there. I'm a qualified lifeguard. I've surfed for about 14 years. I'm a qualified commercial diver, I'm qualified in first aid, and I'm a qualified dickhead. So I'm probably the most qualified person to try and backflip off a cliff who has never backflipped before off a cliff. Face your fears head on, because the only thing worse than failing something when you've tried is regretting or wondering what could have been. There's a reason why people on their deathbeds regret not seizing opportunities, not doing things, not trying things, not saying yes to things, and bottling them or failing before they've even tried. So always try things new and just go for it, man. Just fucking go for it full send, because one day you're gonna die anyway, and you don't want to die with regret still in you. You want to know that you've given it your 100%, you want to know that you've tried, and that's kind of like my little metaphor from backflipping. That's me doing a backflip, that's Alex doing an absolutely mad gainer. Bit of a weird video, but we got to get creative in these quarantine times. Thankfully, this is like a 2-minute walk from my house. And that is that. Peace out, guys. I love you to bits. Keep healing it. Thank you. Goodbye.